Driving a TVR is incredibly emotional. The cars are very eccentric. The engineering on them is way overboard. It's the shapes, it's the sound. Trevor Wilkinson started the brand in 1947 and he created the first 3 cars. In 1965 Martin Lilly took over and that was the next stage of cars. He carried on until 1981 and that's when Peter Wheeler took over, which is probably the best known, and he let a lot of the cars, the design of the cars, be free really, and he kept it right up until 2004, and at that point a Russian called Nikolai Slemensky bought the company. And he ran it until he went into administration in 2006. Our company, we started in 2007. We thought we could do a better job than the main dealers, look after the customers better. We got good mechanics in, we got a technical business partner, expanded to the showroom and the workshop, and we've been overrun with customers ever since. We're very lucky to deal with some very special cars. We've got a couple of, the 3 Tuscan Challenge cars here. We've got the Speed 12, the one and only Speed 12, which is in for restoration and recommissioning. 880 brake horsepower car, which was built originally for the GT1 series. There is only one in the world, and it's just a very special car. The Sagaris, the design on the Sagaris came late 2003 and it was launched 2004. The name is a Greek name for a lightweight battle axe. People were blown away with the design of the car and how it looked and how it sat. They did have a few initial problems with the car, of course, because the slats were cut out originally, and they were smashing windscreens, and which was, you know, quite an amusing thing for lots of people. But they filled the slats in, they launched the car, and it was fabulously successful. The drive is so stable, immense power, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds, 190 miles an hour. It blew everybody away, and they launched it at £55,000, and immediately we were inundated with orders. The Sagaris chassis is the same chassis as the rest of the cars, apart from they have the suspension pickups different, and they are wider, making it slightly wider, and it makes it much more stable. But it's still a tubular chassis, still double wishbones, still independent suspension on it. They're fairly firmly sprung, so they're not a soft ride, but they're not a really hard ride. Extremely sharp steering, so you get lots of feedback through the steering. The AP brakes are fabulous. You press the brake and you can feel it. There's no ABS, there's no traction control. You feel exactly what you're pressing. The Sagaris has a 4-litre straight 6, which is one of TVR's own engines. Peter Wheeler wanted a straight 6. He thought a British car should have that. And the engineering in it was with Al Mellin and John Ravenscroft. And they made a fabulous engine. And on song at 5.5, 6,500 revs is just the sweetest sound. I can imagine the designer going to Peter Wheeler with a drawing of a Sagaris and saying, "Boss, I think I've really hit the nail on the head." And I think in a normal car company, he would have probably been fired that day and sent home with how extreme it looked. But of course, Peter Wheeler welcomed that, and he said, look, let's make it. Bill Stein did the suspension, which was the first time they'd had somebody do the suspension. They'd ironed out all the problems with the cars. It is the last of the era, and it is the best of the era. It was incredibly sad at the time when, we saw the production going down from 12 cars a week to 6 cars a week, and at the end it was 3 to 4 cars a week. And TVR just got it right, but unfortunately the market wasn't there for it, and that was the end of TVR. And we all carried on working, we all carried on with the independents carried on, and we really never thought it would come back. There is now a new era of TVR. Les Edgar and a consortium have bought the company from Nikolai. They've now decided they're going to build a new car, or 4 new cars, which are going to come. The first will come 2017. They've already taken 250 deposits for these cars, and they're going to be a Cosworth-engined V8, and they're going to be designed by Gordon Murray. So it's incredibly exciting for the owners, the current owners, for us to move forward. The new owners have started parts production again. They've done everything right so far, and they really understand the brand. They really understand what people want, the power, the noise, the beautiful cars. So we're just desperate to see what the new car's going to look like, which hopefully we will later on this year. I have 3 little boys. They all love TVR. They've grown up with TVR. They've grown up in TVRs. And we're trying to find cars at the moment that we can keep for those. And then when I finish here, they can take over and they can continue with it. Because there's no other car manufacturer like it. There's beautiful cars, but there's no other car manufacturers that give you the feeling, they give you the sense of achievement getting out of one when you've driven them. And I want my little boys to be involved in that. So, the cars are, incredibly important to us.